What up, peeps? I'm back. Hold on. I'm here. Hold on. We're trying something new. I'm recording myself. I don't have Salazar today. Now, so today we went over how to solve two-step equations, right? So two-step equations look like something like this, right? Okay, a lot of you guys were having trouble today in class. Again, two-step equations and everything we'll be learning about equations is extremely important for high school. In 8th grade, we go over multi-step equations. But in order for you to understand what multi-step equations are, you need to understand what are two-step equations, okay? So if you don't understand how to do two-step equations, then you can't do multi-step, okay? Because in every multi-step problem, you're going to have to get a two-step equation. First thing is this. Remember this poster that I brought up. You guys are messing up a lot on your signs on integers, okay? Remember, if you have the same sign, you add the numbers. So -3 plus -3 will give you -6. If you have different signs, you subtract the numbers. And you always want to remember to keep the sign of the higher number. The bigger number is the most important one. So this one is -3 plus 3, different signs subtract. So it's 1. Which number is bigger? The 4 is bigger. So that's why, and the 4 is negative, so that's why it's -1. And then these are the rules for addition and subtraction, and then these are the rules. The bear is used to solve for multiplication and division. Okay, so we remember we cover the I, so negative times negative. So you cover a negative and a negative, so the answer will be positive. So that's something that you need to remember for these problems. Okay, so let's get started. This is what I want you to do. You need to go problem by problem, okay? If I'm going to write down the problem, the first two problems, I want you to pay attention and actually follow along with me. After that, I want you to pause the video and then try the problem and then fast forward it to the answer. If you get it right, then you keep on moving on. If you get it wrong, rewind it and see where you made the mistake. Okay, so here we go. Copy these in your math journal. The first one is this. Number 1, we have 3m plus 5 equals 14. Once again, the main goal of an equation is for you to have the variable by itself. You are not eliminating the variable. That is probably the biggest mistake that a student might say. Oh, we're going to eliminate the variable. Okay, we're not eliminating no variable. We're just trying to solve for the value of the variable. And remember the story I told you. Variables want to be by themselves. They want to be isolated. So you want m to be by itself. So here we go. I showed you these steps in class. First step is we draw this thing, this line. I call it the barrier, okay? Because you know that an equation has a left side and a right side, okay? That's two sides. It's like a balance. A lot of teachers explain it like a balance. I circle my variable because that's the one that we need to focus on. Whoops. Do you notice how the variable is attached to the 3? So I have to circle the variable with the 3 because there's an attachment. So there's a left side and a right side of the equation. Focus on the side where the variable is at. Where's the bubble? Is it on the right side or is it on the left side? It's on the left side. That means you need to focus only on this side. This is the only side you could need to focus on. Only on this side. So you better not say anything about the 14. We don't care about the 14. Okay, now that you understand that, let's think about this. So this is the only side. Ignore this one. We don't need it. Who's not inside the bubble here? Who's not inside the bubble? Oh, it's the 5. So if that's a positive 5, what's the inverse of a positive? What's the opposite of a positive? A negative. So let's go ahead and do minus 5. If you do it to one side, you also have to do it to the other. A lot of you guys were skipping steps. Try to follow along and try to do these steps, okay? Again, these steps are going to help you a lot when we deal with multi-step equations. I draw my straight line through. 5 minus 5, that becomes a 0. So I cancel them out like that, okay? So now you have 3m equals, I dropped it because you didn't touch it. 14 minus 5 is 9, okay? Now these two numbers are multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplication? What's the inverse of multiplication? It's division. So now we're going to divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3. These become a 1. M is equal to 9 divided by 3 is 3. There it is. The value of your variable is 3. M is equal to 3. And that is your answer. We did not eliminate. We did not cancel out the variable. Make sure you remember that. We're not canceling variables. So that's the answer for that one. Let's try another one. Again, these should be in your notebooks. Let's give you this one. 14 equals negative 4 minus 6k. Oh, I'm making this up. Okay. Oh, shoot. You mixed it up. You mixed up where the variable is. Don't worry. Just follow the same steps. Again, you see an equal sign, draw the barrier. Draw a barrier. Circle the variable. The variable is k. Shoot. There's a number. It's a -6. The -6 is attached. And this is a mistake you guys did in class again. You only went like this. Okay, there it is. Nah, that's wrong. That's way off. It's totally wrong. You also have to get the -6. You have to grab the whole thing. So what side am I going to focus on? Am I going to focus on the right side or am I going to focus on the left side? The right side, because that's where the bubble is. You focus where the bubble is. That means ignore this side. You don't care about this side. You want to focus on this side where the bubble is. Okay? Now, if you're focused here then, look at this. Which number is not inside the bubble? The -4. How do you get rid of a minus? Positive. So let's do +4, +4. Draw your line. This cancels. 14 plus 4 is how much? 18. This is 18. Equals. Bring this down. -6k. Bring down the negative, the -6. It also comes down. Okay? Now, how do this is when they're attached like this, it's multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So you're going to divide both sides by this number, and this number is -6. So I'm going to divide by -6, divided by -6, that cancels. We have a positive divided by negative. The bear, that's the rules, the bear. Positive divided by a negative is negative. So that means, we know that 18 divided by 6 is 3, but it's negative. K is equal to -3. But rewrite it though. I don't like, it looks weird when it's like this. We like having the variable on the left side. So that's the answer for that one. Okay, K is equal to -3. Okay, let's try one more together. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. Hopefully you're getting it. Let's see this one. -7 equals -5f minus 17. Okay. Draw the barrier. That's the first step. Barrier. Circle the variable. This is the variable, the letter, but notice that there's somebody next to the variable. So you have to grab all of that chunk too. So that comes with you. So what side am I going to focus? On the right or on the left? On the right side, because that's where the bubble is. So I don't care about this side. I could cover this up. So who is not inside the bubble here? Well, it's a 17, the -17. So what's the opposite of a -17? +17. So I'm going to do +17, +17. These cancel out. Now you have to be careful here. You have -7 plus 17. Do you have the same sign or do you have a different sign? Well, that's negative and that's positive. That means you have different signs. And the rule is different signs subtract. So then if I subtract these two numbers, I get a 10. But you always want to keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number 17 and its sign is positive. That means the sign of this 10 is positive. What happens it was like this. What will be the sign now? It's going to be negative because he's bigger and the sign is negative, so that will become negative. But in this case, it's not. So that's positive and that's negative. So that's still positive. Bring down the 5f. And yes, I already did a mistake. You also have to bring this one. Bring the negative. Bring the minus sign. That's what you guys were messing up a lot in class. Minus. Don't forget it. When they're attached, that means it's multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So let's divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. Okay? That cancels. F equals 10 divided by 5 is 2. But now you have to look at this. Positive divided by negative. You use the bear when you're doing multiplication. Positive divided by a negative is negative. So therefore that 2 is negative 2. Okay? So that's how you solve two-step equations. So this is what we're going to do now. I'm going to go over a problem. Once I write the problem, write it in your notebook, pause the video, solve the problem, and then fast forward it to the answer. If you get it right, then move on to the next problem. So you don't have to listen to me going over problems step by step by step. But if you get it wrong, then you're going to have to rewind the problem and watch me explain step by step. So here we go. Let's do this one. 9w plus 12 equals negative 6. That's our first problem. Okay? So I'm going to go pretty fast though. Draw the barrier, circle the variable. You focus on the left side because that's where the bubble is. Who's not inside the bubble here? It's the 12, the positive 12. The opposite of a positive 12 is a minus 12. So let me use a different one. Sorry. So this is a minus 12. If I do it on this side, I'm going to have to do it to the other. Minus 12. Okay? This cancels out. Careful here. You have negative 6 and negative 12. Same sign or different signs? Same sign. Same sign, add. So 6 plus 12 is 18. Keep the sign of the bigger number. Well, they're both negative, so okay, so it's going to be negative. Equals. You didn't touch the 9w. Drop it. 9w. Okay? Next step. They're attached. That means this is multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is, you got it, division. We show these bars for division. We don't do this anymore. We don't do that anymore. Okay? So we're going to divide this side by 9, this side by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So w equals, well, I know that 18 divided by 9 is 2, but I have to be careful with the sign. Have a negative divided by positive. Have a negative, I use the bear for this. Negative divided by positive is negative. So the answer for this one is, the value of w is negative 2. Again, I didn't eliminate the variable. We're good with that one? Let's do another one. Let me cross off the ones I've done already. I've done this one, I've done this. Okay, let's go to this one. Simple, people. These problems are easy. Let's go over this one. Negative 8y plus 1 equals 17. Okay. Draw the barrier. We draw the barrier. Click. Circle the variable. The variable is a y. Oh shoot, there's a negative 8 attached. It's okay. You also have to grab the whole thing, even the negative. Okay? What side is the variable on? Left. So therefore, I look at where the bubble is. The bubble's on this side. So I don't care about this 17. So focus on the side where the bubble is. What number is not inside the bubble? The 1. It's a positive 1. So the opposite of a positive 1 is negative 1. So minus 1, minus 1. Draw your line. That cancels. Let me erase this piece. So you have negative 8y equals 17 minus 1 is? Oh, it's 16. Come on now. Now, they're attached. So now we're multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying is division. So we're going to divide both sides by a negative 8. We're going to divide by a negative 8. Or a minus 8, whatever you want to call it. Okay? That cancels. Y equals Positive divided by negative. Positive divided by negative is negative. So I know that 16 divided by 8 is 2, but it's also a negative 2. And that's how you do that one. Let's do another one. Skip a line on that notebook. Is this easy? It's getting better? Okay. We have this one. Negative 2. Oh, let me switch it up. I'm doing pretty much the same thing. Let's do negative 14 equals negative 2. That's a z. Negative 2z plus 6. There it is. Switched it up on you. Same steps. Remember, copy it, you solve it, pause the video, and then fast forward. Draw the barrier. Click. Circle the variable. Circle. Boom. What side is the variable on? In this case, it's on the right side. Okay, so it's on the right side. So we focus over here only. We only focus here. Who is not inside the bubble here? Well, it's a 6. So what's the opposite of a positive 6? A minus 6. So we're going to do minus 6. I'll have to do minus 6 over here. Okay? Draw your little line. Let me erase this, please. These things cancel. Here, careful. Same sign or different signs. Same sign or different. Well, it's same. When it's same sign, you add the numbers. So 14 plus 6 is 20. But you want to keep the sign of the big number. Which one's bigger, 14 or 6? 14. The sign is negative, so this has to be negative. Drop this. Hopefully you realize that I made a mistake already. Did you see it? This had a minus. I need to bring it down too. So this is minus 2z. See, that's what you guys did a lot in class. You also have to bring down the minus, okay? This is attached, that means it's multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide by negative 2, negative 2. That cancels out. Z equals, well, I know that 20 divided by 2 is 10, but now I have to be careful with my signs. Negative divided by negative. Negative divided by negative. Cross these out, and I end up with a positive. So the answer for this one is positive 10. So that's the answer for that one. Are you getting better at this? Let's try a couple more. You got this? Oh, well, sorry. I'm already erasing it. Okay. Let's see this one. Oh, yeah, this one's good. 1 minus 4n equals negative 3. Okay, here we go. This is an equation. Same steps. Draw the barrier. Click. Circle the variable. The variable's n, but there's something attached to them. So I have to grab it. Hopefully you saw that I made a mistake. And this is a mistake you guys do all the time. I also have to grab the negative. Okay? You have to grab everything. Everything. So I'm going to grab all of this chunk right here. Okay? So now, focus on the side where the variable is at. The variable is on the left side, so I only care about here. I don't care about this negative 3. What do you want the negative 3 for? So focus on this side. Who's not inside the bubble? The 1. The 1 is not inside the bubble. Now think. Hernandez, what is that? That doesn't say it's minus or adding. Well, it doesn't have a sign. You assume it's positive. Okay? But if this was like this, then you'll say it's negative. But since it didn't have a sign, it's positive. So let's treat it as a positive 1. So what's the inverse of a positive 1? A negative 1. So minus 1. Minus 1. Draw this. These things cancel out. Click, click, cancel. Negative 3 minus 1. Same sign or different signs. Same sign. 3 plus 1 is 4. But you keep the sign of the bigger number, the bigger thug. The bigger thug is 3, which is negative. So this is negative. equals, bring this down, careful, make sure you bring the negative because it has a negative for it. Sorry. Now it's multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. Divide. The opposite of a negative, well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So divide by a negative 4, divide by a negative 4. So n equals 4 divided by 4 is 1. Negative divided by negative, negative divided by negative is positive. So then that one is positive. Okay with that one? So that's how you do that one. Let's do 2 more. You guys need practice. Okay. Let's give you let's see. -2 5a plus 8. You know what? Change it. Make that positive. Positive 2. Yeah, do it like that. Okay. Same thing. Barrier. Click. Circle. Click. Who do we have to get rid of here? Well, focus on the side where the variable is at. Sorry. So the side of the variable is on the right side. Click right here. Who do we have to get rid of? Who's not inside the circle? The 8. So if it's positive 8, what's opposite of a positive 8? Minus 8. So minus 8, minus 8. Okay? So that's what we have. These cancel out. Click. Same sign or different signs. That's positive, that's negative. So it's different. So subtract them. So that's going to be 6. Will it be positive 6 or negative 6? Negative 6. Because 8 is bigger. Drop the 5a. Okay? They're multiplied. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide this by 5. This by 5. A equals negative divided by positive. Negative divided by a positive is negative. So then this stays negative. But wait. Could we reduce this? We can't. That's called an improper fraction. You could turn it into a mixed number, so it will be -1 and 1/5. But you don't have to. That will be the answer. Sometimes you're going to get fractions as your answers. What can we do? Okay? Don't worry, fractions are not bad. That will be the answer. Let's do another problem. Okay? Now let me switch this problem. We'll do the same problem. But let's say instead of having that positive 8, let's make it into a negative 8. So this is going to be our second to last problem. Let's say that this one, well, let me just erase it. 2 equals 5a minus 8. Now I'm changing it up. The only thing I did is I changed it to a minus, and you're going to see how different the problem or the answer is going to become. Okay, there's the same steps though. Barrier, circle, focus on the side where the variable's at. It's over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. The variable's over here. Who's not inside the bubble? The minus 8. What's the opposite of a minus 8? Positive 8. So now we're going to do positive 8, positive 8. Okay? This and this cancels out. So you have 5a equals 2 plus 8 is actually 10. Okay? We're almost done. The numbers are attached. So what's the opposite? What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. There you go. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. A is equal to 2. And that's it. Do you see how different the answer is? Just by switching the sign like that. Okay? Let's go over one more. One more. A special one, okay? Let's go over a special problem. Dun, 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 dun. Let's say I gave you this. -4x minus 8 equals minus 8. Oh, you're going to get a special answer. Here we go. Draw the barrier, click, circle the whole thing. Hopefully you're used to it. Okay? So now focus on the side where the variable's at. The variable's right here. Click, boom, boom, boom. Who do we have to get rid of? The minus 8. The opposite of a minus 8 is positive 8. Let me use a different marker. Positive 8, positive 8. That cancels. This negative 8 plus 8. Same sign or different signs? Same sign or different signs? It's different signs. So you subtract. Well, negative 8 plus 8, if I subtract the numbers, is 0. Okay, it's 0. It's okay, don't be scared. Drop this negative 4x. What's wrong with the 0? Okay? This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide, divide. So x equals 0 divided by negative 4. If you try to divide a number, 0 divided by any number is always going to be 0. That's equals x equals 0. And that's it. That's how you solve two-step equations. We did one with positives and negatives. Okay, on our next video, we're going to throw in fractions. It seems probably the fractions are hard, but actually the fractions are very easy. They're actually easier than this. Okay, so again, if you had any questions, rewind the video, raise your hand, and I'll come and help you in class. And that's it. That's how you solve two-step equations. Now, let me stop recording because I'm by myself. That's it.